Hello, Tycooners. It's Cody again. And beware. What we're doing today is going to be, how do I put it, psychological torture. So if you think you're too scared, can't handle it, go ahead and click out of this video right now. But if you have guts and courage, then keep watching. I'm going to tell you 5 ways to psychologically torture your guests in Rollercoaster Tycoon. Now these 5 things, if you implement them correctly, will turn any park into a place of torment, fear, and sorrow. Let's see what they are. The first thing you need to do every time is put a no entry sign at the park entrance. This is the key first step because without a no entry sign, all of these things we're about to do will not even matter because your guests can just leave the park if they're unhappy. So you have to do this and you have to make sure it's the first thing you do. Now, number 2, this part revolves around what types of rides you put in your park. It's going to leave many guests stuck forever, and it's going to leave many guests stuck for basically forever. So you're going to need to make slow and endless rides. The purpose of this will be to get guests to think, I want to get off the ride. But the problem is they can't, and they won't. Now, the slower the ride, the better. The more eternal the ride, the better. A couple examples of rides you could build would be an unsolvable maze. Make sure it's huge, confusing, and just ridiculously hard. Another example would be a huge mini golf. Just make it long and boring, and the guests will just be stuck on it. You know, they can't just get off halfway through. They have to finish the ride. If you build a coaster, make sure it has the maximum amount of circuits. And make sure your rides have the slowest possible throughput, just to torture your guests in the queue line. You want to put these rides all over your park, and that's going to just torture them. Now, real quick, before we get into number 3, if you're enjoying this video, please do me a quick favor. Scroll down and hit that like button. You have no idea how huge of a help that is. If you're watching this and you're having a good time, that like button will help push this video out for more eyeballs to see. It's honestly one of the best things you can do. So please go like it real quick. And also, if you're having a good time, put a comment that says, hey, I'm having a good time. All right, now number 3. This one's going to be about the type of music you have playing in the park. Now, what you got to do is put merry-go-rounds everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Once they're all in place, break them down. You want this horrid melody to reverberate through every square inch of the park. The more broken carousels, the better. Oh boy, do you hear that? That's a very nice sound. All right, and number 4, you want to put food stalls, drink stalls, and bathrooms in your park right within sight, but with no way to actually get there. What will happen from this is that over time, you will deprive your guests of food, water, and the ability to relieve themselves. This disturbing act will result in physical pain for every guest. And if you remember back to our first item, now they can't leave the park, so they're going to only get hungrier and thirstier and more miserable over time. Number 5 is a quick one. Put guests up on a raised piece of land to make an example out of them. This was to warn against anyone else who may act up. The guests will be stuck here for eternity. They won't ever be able to leave, and they will most certainly become miserable. Are there any other ways that you like to torture your guests in this game? If you have an idea, put it down in the comments so we can all learn from you. In my experience, the more sorrow, the better. So add your ideas in the comments below. Now, we talked about torturing guests. I want to now talk about torturing yourself. If you're up for the challenge, the best way to torture yourself while playing this game is to build a Heartline coaster. Now, I did a video where I built a Heartline coaster, ironically, and to see that video, click over right now and watch it. I promise you it's going to make you cry. So click over and watch it now.
Yeah! I did it! Yeah! I built a Heartline! I completed a circuit! How incredible is that?
Basically, here's the deal. Heartlines, this was freaking easy as crap. I didn't even have to try that hard to build it.